pressure right now from Greg Moore. But Rahal, both the Rahal cars are running very low drag setups. Obviously, that did not help him against Bryan because they're very, very similar. Oh,
look at Bryan.
Unbelievable.
Bryan goes in so deep, Tommy, right there in front of you, almost took out his boss.
I think he was paying attention to going in deep to keep Greg Moore behind him and just got it. You could tell he was in trouble early.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, my goodness.
Alex Barron right up on top of poor Bryan Herta.
You saw Herta pull his hands in and try to make himself small. An astonishing collision in turn 5.
Herta is moving in the cockpit. You can see his head moving, talking to the safety workers. I can't see much from my position, but you saw him. I was focused right on him. You saw his hands come up. I thought he was putting his head in his hands. He's definitely moving around inside.
And Tommy, on the radio,
is on top.
On the radio, we are told that he's talking to his crew, saying that he is okay.
Full course caution. Double yellow flags from the flag stand. Look at him underneath the new Eagle chassis for Dan Gurney's All-American Racers. Now let's watch from above.
Herta goes in deep to try to keep Moore behind him. Cannot get it stopped. Just barely tagged Rahal, sitting there.
Watch over
towards
here.
The back of the pack.
And you saw Alex Barron up against the wall in a grinding.
Did you see that? The safety worker was already attending to Bryan Herta and saw that coming. I think a similar thing happened with Alex Barron. He came in down hot, had nowhere to go, and went to the outside, got in the grass before the turn. And Danny?
Also, remember, you got this roll bar up here at this point, and there's one down there in the front of the car underneath the dash, and that's acts where he can be protected. So just a situation like this, and of course the front of these cars are just so pointed, they're like a ramp, which is how Alex Barron got up on top of that car.
In slow motion, you could see Herta knew he was in for a big one. That's the kart safety team unit 2 down there. Dave Hollander, the crew chief, Dr. Terry Trammell, the noted orthopedic surgeon from Pittsboro, Indiana, Mike Carey, an EMT from Tempe, Arizona, and Pat Caserta, an EMT from Kinnelon, New Jersey. There is Alex Barron. Now they have one of the more complex rescues in recent years.
Well, they can't just pull that car off, because if they do, some part of it could fall down and hit Bryan, who at the moment is safe in his little cocoon there in the cockpit of that car.
It actually looks like they are going to just tug that thing off of there. They're hooking it up to the roll bar. There is not a crane in sight, so I'm not sure what's going to happen.
They got to be careful, because I'd hate to see that nose down and hit Bryan in the head. Remember, that car right there weighs 1,560 pounds dry. They've only just done a pit stop, so again they'll have full load of fuel, add a couple of hundred more pounds to it.
Now you saw the tow truck backing in. I gather they will attempt to try to lift the car off.
At least lift it up enough to get Bryan out of the car, and then take time and remove it at a different.
It's like trying to remove the lion tamer from the lion's mouth. Let's take one more look.
Bryan goes in there. I'm thinking he's trying to protect himself from Greg Moore right out there. He just goes in too deep, realizes he's going too deep, tries to go down the inside, locks it up, sees the smoke come out of the back tires, turns it. Oh, I don't want to hit my boss here. He will kill me if I take him out of there. Spins backwards down the track.
Now he sees Alex Barron coming.
And look at this official right there. Was he lucky that he looked up at the same time?
Alex Barron was grinding along the wall. The car was up against the concrete.
Alex Barron got off under braking. We couldn't see that on that overhead shot. There was one teeny view of it, but we couldn't see what happened. It looked like he had a similar situation, came upon a car that slowed earlier. He was already committed to his brake zone and chose to go into the right rather than hitting the car in front of him, got in the dirt, ended up going right up over Bryan. Here comes Bryan. This is a great sign. The crowd's going nuts. Listen to that.
Tommy, was Alex Barron locked up when he got there, or do you suspect maybe a brake problem?
Alex Barron was in the dirt grinding against the wall when he got here. I think a similar thing happened. He came upon somebody else, I think, and took to the right rather than hitting the car in front of it. Might have been his teammate.
You saw the quick nod and the extending hand from Bryan Herta telling Alex Barron, it's okay. I'm all right. You're all right.
one thing that compounded that with Bobby Rahal is one thing that compounded that is Bryan was trying to hold off Greg Moore, but Bobby, having a nice little cushion, broke a little earlier. Cold tires, he didn't want to overshoot things, and at that point Bryan had all this momentum. You can't just make that disappear. He did everything he could, started to go to the inside, but as you can see, he just barely, he's lucky he didn't hit Rahal harder. He definitely hit Rahal from behind. I had some information from the team meeting. The one thing they talked about, it's obvious, it's kind of understood, don't get into each other, but they were talking more about first turn, first lap.
Well, there you see the Team Rahal scooters there to pick up the driver of the Shell Reynard. Bryan Herta's race is done in one of the more bizarre accidents in recent memory. We'll be back to Road America.
Herta, what happened? He said, which part? Okay, let's start with the first part, then we'll work to the second part with Alex Barron. What happened that got you in trouble to start with?
Well, I think my motor was going off. It was a little soft, and it just didn't seem to have any juice down the straight. Bobby got by me, and Greg had a run. So I tried to brake really late to keep Greg back, and I ended up touching Bobby and spun me around. I got stuck there, and I don't know what happened to cause Barron to go off, but he obviously did, and then I saw him.
You actually saw it coming. We could see your head ducking down.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I could do at that point. I was a sit and duck, but I'm just really thankful, thank God, that the car went up instead of straight, and I guess that was my lucky day in a way.
It didn't hit you at all. It literally went right over the top of it.
It actually hit my hands, but not too bad. So it could have been a lot worse.
But you have to be so frustrated considering how well you'd qualified.
Yeah, I'm more pissed off than frustrated right now.
Simple answer.